I did a whole video about collage composition rules and techniques, but you know what? Let's just get that right out of here. We don't need it. It's not for us right now. Right now, we are in our chaos era. We're doing whatever we want. I want to see what can be made with what is traditionally considered trash.
I'm the trash man.
Hi, welcome. Today we are going to be working on some scrap paper and paint multimedia collages. These are my favorite kind of art projects because they are my cheat code for dropping into flow state. So let's talk about it. And hey, I can totally hear your doubt. But Jess, getting into flow state is hard. It's not that simple.
It's not that simple.
What?
I'm not gonna lie to you and try to claim that this video is going to solve all of your flow state problems. Anyone willing to say that, I think, is just trying to sell you some magic beans. And I'm not here to try to grow a beanstalk or call down giants. But I do want to share why this has been so helpful for me and why I think it might be helpful for you too. First things first, if you want to enter flow state, you have to minimize distractions. That might mean just turning your notifications off for a while or putting your phone on vibrate. If you really need to maintain a connection, everyone's got things. I don't know what your thing is. But if you're like me and you really don't need to have your phone glued to you at all times, you just have a problem, then maybe you should consider setting your phone in another room. It is what I do, and I think it helps a lot. And you're gonna wanna give yourself at least 90 minutes. So put it on your calendar, mark out some time, do whatever you can to ensure that you are giving yourself the time to actually concentrate long enough. Because flow state is described as effortless effort, and it requires that level of deep concentration to get there. Okay, with those two housekeeping things out of the way, now let's talk about why scrap collage is my perfect flow state cheat code. To start, there's no initial vision. When making a scrap collage, all you gotta do is begin by gluing your scraps down. When I first started making these, I would have described my process as just being chaotic, willy-nilly. But over time, I realized I was doing a few things, and I'll share them with you. I sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes will try to group colors together. Or if it's a large piece, I might try to make sure that colors are repeating across the composition. And it fully just depends on my mood. But the main thing is just try to fit the pieces together as best as you can. You can paste them down as they come to you, or you can rip them up and cut them down to whatever size you need in that spot. Or you can let the edges overlap. These are very much cat rules in that if it fits, it sits. Or rather, it sticks. Such a dumb joke. And here's the kicker. One of the triggers of flow state is novelty. Since every scrap collage is different, there is no end to the novelty of fitting all of the pieces together. And every new piece that finds its perfect spot is this like teeny little happy dopamine hit. Okay, before I show you the painting part of this, let's slide over to the other scrappy collage I made. The second reason that scrap collages help me fall into flow state is the fact that they have a purpose for me. It's not just that I want to create pretty artwork, which I very much do, but I can also use up the otherwise unwanted, unusable pieces. These collages open up this whole new world of curiosity and creation that is very different from how I engage with other types of collages. There's this underlying purpose that's fueled by a passion to use the unusable, and I think that that fuels me in a way that other kinds of collages don't. In other collages, I'm often thinking more about the composition or what I want it to say, but these collages on their own are doing the thing that I want already, just by existing. They are saying to me, the world, myself, me, myself, and I, that you don't have to buy something. You don't have to buy something new to create art. You can use what you have, and you can use it creatively in new ways. And I want to see what can be made with what is traditionally considered trash. Now, once we get into the paint portion of these collages, things really start to get interesting. Hopefully all of that puzzling and piecing has got you locked in like it does me. Hopefully you're feeling good about your choices and you're trusting your intuition and you're not second guessing yourself or moving things around too much. You're just slapping things down, so you're believing in yourself, and then you pull out your paint markers or whatever you want to use to paint. It doesn't have to be markers. It could just be regular paint with a paintbrush. And now you just start getting to lay down color and start carving out composition from that. I have this love for invented landscapes, so I have a tendency to gravitate to making that sort of artwork with Scrappy Collages. But you don't have to do that. If you love portraiture, you could make a Scrappy Collage portrait. If you love cityscapes, do that. You do not have to make your Scrappy Collage look like my Scrappy Collage. That's not the point here, for sure. I really think that any thing that you like could be made with a Scrappy Collage. You might just ever so slightly alter how you decide what pieces you put down. Maybe you use more pieces that have squared off edges if you like cityscapes. Maybe you're using more fleshy tones, or not, whatever, if you want to create a human portrait. The sky is really the limit here. Look at this. Look what I'm doing here. I've entered my Chaos Octopus era. Percussive engineering at its finest. You can really tell here that I have hit my flow state because my hands do not want to stop moving. I do want to say, for the record, some of this footage is sped up, but still, I was really feeling it. The best part about Scrappy Collages is that you can throw the rules away. I did a whole video about collage composition rules and techniques, but you know what? Let's just get that right out of here. We don't need it. It's not for us right now. Right now, we are in our chaos era. We're doing whatever we want. Also, let's have a little moment to talk about colors. I don't think a whole lot about the colors that I use. I mean, I think that I probably think more about it than I realize I think about it. Do you know what I mean? But sometimes I try to make things look real, right? Like grass, I typically make green, but sometimes not. Sometimes the grass is red, or sometimes the flowers are blue. I mean, that's actually a real thing sometimes. My point is, if you're worried about colors you're using, I don't think that matters so much as the shapes that you create and how you're laying down color in order to create meaning. The colors are kind of whatever. I suppose that when I'm choosing colors, I'm thinking about the background and what might work best together. But I'm also not afraid to just paint over a background entirely if it's not working with the scene that I'm trying to make. Or if I've laid down a bunch of paint that I don't really like, in the end, I might wait for it to dry and then cover it up You can totally do that. It's not a big deal. Might be a little annoying if you're having to wait for paint to dry, but then you just, keep the flow state going and start a different collage. It's such an intuitive process that it's a little hard to describe. If you try this, you're not going to be disappointed. And I don't mean that you're definitely going to make something that you love. I don't always make something that I love, but the practice itself is so fun and so freeing that it doesn't really matter if the thing that you finally make is good or not. It's the fact that you made it and you were able to use trash, and that's cool, I think that's cool. Flow state is ultimately a personal thing, and there are a million ways to get there. All of them are correct. This is just my favorite way. But I would love to hear in the comments, are there any ways that you get into flow state? Because I am always curious to learn. And here are my final pieces. Reflecting on them both, I think my favorite is the mountains one, but I am a sucker for mountains. I don't live near any mountains, so I'll take them how I can get them, I guess. If you like this video and you want to hang out with me a little longer in the studio, then check this video out. And I think that's it. Okay, bye. See ya. Bye. Bye.